Right, hello and welcome to another video. Today we have a boxed Philips portable cassette recorder D6350 on the bench. Pick this one up. It's computer compatible, variable pitch control for tape adjustment speed, automatic recording level control, built-in condenser microphone and 3-digit counter. Now, I remember this from my school days. We used to have one of these when I was in school, and I used to do dance lessons, and this was something that they used. Well, used this sort of thing for dance. Well, they've obviously decided to do that. So what we'll do that today is we'll take this apart, we'll refurbish it. We'll check the belts, we'll check the gears, I'll explain how it's all constructed, and we'll do two videos on this. One will be the disassembly and the second one will be the reassembly. So without further ado, let's start. And I must add, there's no radio in here. It's only a cassette recorder. There's no radio in this model. Okay. The other one you saw, we had a radio in there, which I've still got to put back together. But this one, there is no radio. Okay, so we'll be taking pictures as we go along, so that we know where everything is. The soldering iron is warmed up. That's it, let's open the box. Got a mains lead here, which I probably will never use. I always use batteries, you see. Okay, so here's the guts. Here's the actual item itself. Little bit dusty, but never mind, we'll be clearing it up. And it's even got a handle, so you can, surprisingly light. Well, Philips were mostly plastic anyway. I can now see where the good sound probably comes from, because it's got a large speaker, and most of them didn't have that. We've got a bass control, we've got a treble control, we've got a volume control. There is a little bit of scratching on the plastic case, but that's to be expected. The erase head is actually alright on this one, surprisingly. It's surprisingly light. Well, that's without batteries anyway. Okay, so I have seen this on YouTube, so I'm not the first person that actually has taken one of these apart. Bring you forward a little bit. Right, so here we are. Here's the guts to do underneath. Right, let's start taking it apart. Now I have noticed that some screws, I've noticed that in the repair videos that people have put on, that some screws are a different length, so we've got to make sure we put them all in the right. Okay, so we put that there. I'll measure them as I go along. Manufacturers do this, you see, because they don't want people opening their products. Now that's the same screw. Okay, so that's a little one, so we know that that goes in the middle. That's also a little one. so these screws seems to be the same. It's probably the middle one that's of a different kind. Yeah, it looks it. You see, this is a slightly different screw. Slightly shorter. Okay, normally they're longer. Right, let's take off the back. It's a little dusty. Well, we'll be clearing that up. Right, so here we are. Here's our cassette deck. It's got an RT22 mechanism in there. And of course, red Leicester cheese gears, which I hate. The belt doesn't seem to be too bad for now anyway. But the first thing I want to do... Why is this loose? Okay. The first thing that I want to do on here is to have a quick look underneath here and explain to you what goes wrong with this sort of mechanism. Because I have been working on this all my life and I know what goes wrong with these things. Right. So we'll take off the single screw. Okay, so that's your capstan flywheel cover. Just a belt which we will measure. That's the capstan flywheel. Okay, so this is the famous gear which goes bad. This red Leicester cheese gear. Now, obviously it hasn't gone bad now, but I'm sure after, with usage, it will break your teeth. Now, I want to show you what exactly happens to these gears. Now if we have a look at this, this is one that I pulled out of another machine. Now, you see this? Don't know whether the camera can focus or not, but broken teeth. And what happens is, this is made out of a very, very frail plastic, and after time it crumbles and breaks. So now, this is the exact gear that goes in here, right? This is unusable, because when it will go up to this point, it will stop. And this sort of mechanism was used on loads of Philips machines, which is unfortunate because Philips machines were actually quite good, in my opinion, but they just suffered from this red Leicester cheese gear problem, which really spoiled the actual, you know, the user experience, because a lot of the time things were going back to Philips with broken gears, and Philips were charging them a lot of money for them to be repaired. But obviously nowadays we have 3D printing and we have people selling stuff that is broken, and what's wrong with it is something like this. So before I go on, I want to take a picture of the circuit board in here, just so that I know Right. So we've got a couple of boards here. We've got one here, well, we've got 4 boards. This is your microphone, and then we've got our Oh, this actually comes off. Well, I won't pull it just yet. That's probably the LEDs. So whenever you're working on a basic tape recorder, what you have to remember is that you will have a certain number of basic connections that go onto the board. So you have your record play head, you'll have your erase head, you have your switch, and you'll have your motor. Okay, those are what normally are connected to the mechanism. Now we've got a green one and we've got a blue one. Okay, now I've taken a picture of this, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the mechanism off first. So I'm going to desolder the mechanism. Okay. Taking a picture obviously enables me to oh, hold on. I probably don't even need to take that off. So what's this then? That's the microphone, right? Okay, so the microphone goes in between this. Right, so we probably don't need to desolder this either, so that can just pop off here. Okay, so this speaker is just sat in there, it's not even... Right, it looks like I didn't even need to remove the heads from it, which is a good thing. What else has it got? Well, this is your potentiometer. Let's take the cassette keys out. Will they come off? Yes. So these are the cassette keys. So we'll leave them there for a minute. Okay. We'll disconnect the speaker. So here we are. Here's the speaker. Now, when I take anything off, I will obviously take a picture of it, what I'm taking off, so I remember where it goes. Okay. So that's the speaker, right. This seems to be the mains lead. So here's your mains going in there. This low voltage, probably. This is probably your AC. Okay. Okay, so that's your AC. This is the power. Okay. So I'll take a picture of that. Okay. So that's the power. I don't want to remove anything I don't need to. Okay, so this seems to be the potentiometer. And that's the LED, and you've got a little switch on here. I wonder what that does. Let's get the counter out. Okay, so what else is connected to it? Ah, the volume pots. Right, okay. Get that out. Okay, so that's your volume pots. Right, will this come off now, or is there anything else connected to it? Right, there is. Can I pop this off or not? I think what I'll do in this instance is I don't really want to break the plastic here, because I know the plastic is very, if it comes off then it's good. Yeah, it does come off. There you are. Right, so here we are then. Here is our tape recorder. Seems to be in good nick. It's got a TDA 1904 chip on there, and it's got a RT22 mechanism. So here we are, complete with the circuit board, so I didn't really need to do anything else. Right, so we'll put that there. There's the belt. So now we've got to take off the speaker. Oh, the speaker's got dust in there, so we need to remove that. And the transformer. So that's your transformer. This is the tape counter. So now everything is out from here, even the balls of dust you've got in there. So that's it. So that's the disassembly of the unit. I'm going to go and wash the covers and clean everything up, clean the heads, clean the capstan and everything, let it dry, and then we'll start putting it back together. So there we are. Well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode for the reassembly. Bye for now.